Yeah, that's fine with me.
Hello, hi, we are back. It's been a while. We've been doing some fairly full on testing, and a few other things have happened, so we're looking to get back into it. Moon, would you like to explain what's about to happen today? So, obviously, this was a session that we streamed a bit over a month ago, and it resulted in a successful Eben Grim clear. So, an Eben Grim being one of the more powerful creatures of Grim within Ramdet in the world that we're playing in. Um, I believe this was the Team Enigma, which is the team that Natalie leads. Was That was the first Eben Grim to be killed in a long time, like properly killed with the Abyss breaking afterwards. Yeah, so that probably takes us back to not long after the likes of Team Stark were still in school. So obviously that's Summer, Raven, Taeyang, and Crow. So very very powerful characters that in world through one reason or another haven't necessarily found the time or the method to break an abyss. So this is a very big deal. Hence why that immediately the team leader is being brought to the headmaster's office, and there's only one way that ends. And I believe we shall just get started. So I'm just going to change music tracks quickly, and then we are ready to go. Where's Microsoft Edge? Pause you. And today I have something very, very special to announce. A lot of the music that you'll be hearing today is actually being produced and made by a creator called Björn The Bard. They have been very, very kind to allow us to use their music for content going forward, be it recording or live streaming. If you want to support them, you can find them on Blue Sky at Bjorn the Bard, but also check them out on Patreon as well and on YouTube, same hashtag. Um, oh, music. I need to. Oh, did I fuck up something? Oops, desktop audio. I don't think they heard any of that, Moon. My bad. Um, I forgot to
Ah,
I forgot to unmute desktop audio. So as I was saying before, because I'm not very good at this. Um, it's been about 27 years since an Eben Grimm has been last killed. Headmaster Theodore wishes to speak to the team leader that successfully killed one. And to those who know who Headmaster Theodore is within the canon world of Ruby, he likes to fight his students. And that is a problem. A problem that Natalie is going in very much knowing is going to happen.
yep.
So you should be able to hear the music now. This is again by Bjorn The Bard.
Woo.
And I will drag Nat onto the token layer. Knowing what's about to happen, she steels herself. She'd already half written out the report, on her scroll on the way back from what was the Nightshade Abyss. Tucking that away for now, she knocks, waiting to be called in.
She's beckoned inside, and no sooner does she step through the doors does the headmaster of Shade Academy look at her with a brilliant smile on his face, grinning ear to ear, a warm, welcoming hand gesturing her inside almost excitedly. The more energetic and the more excited he is, the more prone he is to sending students flying, and I don't know if she can think of a time where she's ever seen him smile so large.
Oh god. We're back. You wanted to see me? You see, for a split second, her try to cycle through the right words to say. Does she go with Sir? Does she go with Headmaster Theodore? It's always a bit of a dance. Nat prefers to be respectful when possible, addressing people as Sir or Ma'am. She doesn't know if that's the right thing to do with Theodore. We're back. Oh, okay. Okay. That was weird. You okay? I think Moon's internet's having a stroke. So you can see him leave and join. Let me know if you can hear the music all right.
Hello, there we go.
Welcome back.
Internet troubles be internet troubles.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to Headmaster Theodore, he prefers Theo. He prefers short, calm, relaxed. He prefers almost acting and being treated much like some of the other students treat each other. He excitedly steps across the way and motions for her to take a seat wherever she would like. Yes, come and sit down. Tell me about what happened.
She will take a seat. And she'll take a moment to recompose herself. Although it wasn't all that long ago, a lot of things happened in relatively short succession. So we got to where it was, not too far from the house where we fought it before. Probably in a little bit of a grove on the same property. When we got there, large crystals like mirrors were scattered about, showing visions, memories. You know what the Stillborn Muse could do. You've seen previous reports. As we fought it, trying to work out what it needed to be, Ashen cracked it. An old Athelian story of two brothers who tried to escape the underworld. One killed the other, and stricken by guilt, they stayed behind, hoping to rebuild the body so they could escape. What I learned after I got the final blow, and I seemed to be transported to somewhere different entirely. A blank space of space, shallow waters underneath my feet, and a starlit sky swirling with colours. From there, I found a little girl. One of the girls in the portrait I showed you the last time we encountered the Muse, holding the teddy bear that I brought back as well, the one with the corrupted arm. Her name was Rose, and she was the Stillborn Muse. I don't know how. I think I know how, but that's what she was. Singing songs. I don't know if it was a lullaby from something that their mother had told them, or
something else entirely. But I took her hand, I told her things would be okay, and she calmed down. And from there I walked her, and as we walked, those visions of alternate lives, realities, or wherever else they could be, faded till there was nothing left. And I believed I helped her spirit pass on. When I came to, I was on the ground on my back, which isn't a surprise. I was on top of it when I got the decisive blow. And then the shell cracked and dissipated. Much like how Grim do, it fell away and things felt normal. That's all I can really say.
It does seem like you went through quite a bit, and I have to admit I wouldn't have expected a Grim to enjoy bedtime stories and lullabies, but Ebons are strange creatures. We barely know enough about Grim as it is, and we know even less about, well, the creatures that make up the core of an abyss. We still don't understand the relationship in full, though, to my knowledge, you are the first person to be able to confirm that a Grimified person is capable of becoming an Ebon as well.
She kind of sits there a bit in shock at that. Obviously, with the studious reputation of her mother, Professor Ebony Knights, the countless generations of huntsmen that have been through the academies before her, how long Ebon Grimm have been around, that's quite surprising.
Oh, really?
Kind of stares off at the table, the cogs in her mind slowly trying to turn over. Thinking's not her strong point, however, so it takes a while.
So an event happened there, which led to the rise of corruption, which would lead to her over-corrupting and then everything else around it, creating the abyss. Is that right?
That is a question that I wish we could answer.
Yeah.
But, to the best of our guess and to the best of your mother's speculation, yes. When it comes to the inner workings of an abyss and of Ebon Grimm, your mother is by far one of the leading experts in the world.
I'm just glad I've been able to help her out with this. It means a lot.
On that we agree. It seems to be the concerns that you once held of you being well, in comparison to your mother, not quite as successful is the politest way to put it, but your successes are measured differently than hers.
Yeah.
She was a prodigy. Still is. That doesn't mean that you're not capable, it just means that the measurements used for you and the things you look to do are different.
Yeah.
For all your mother's capabilities, she never once managed to abyss break. For all her understanding of how an abyss works, of being the one to come up with the classification system and everything else, she never once managed to successfully clear one permanently. Not like you.
Yeah, you're right. So what do we do now?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? He stands up slowly.
She's watching him
Pushes
with
the chair
every
in.
step.
pushes the chair in, comes to stand a little bit closer to her, almost leaning against the table as he does. Do you still doubt yourself, Nat?
She takes a moment to think. A loaded question. And one possibly being followed by a loaded fist.
There are times I do. I live in big shadows, not only with my mother, but my friends, the people that I consider family. Not only here, but in Vale. But I know that I can be successful. So I think the answer is no. But it's too early to say anything more than that.
And that, young Miss Knights, is growth. The woman that stands before me now is different than the confused, scared, and lost little girl that stepped into these doors not but even a month ago, who I assigned to a team of misfits, of strange oddities, of lost souls. I had some, even your mother, questioning me about my choices, about the students that I placed alongside you, and your own placement alongside them. It's my understanding that if the way that things have been going isn't working, then it's time to try something new. Nearly 30 years since the last successful abyss break. And in that time, many skilled teams of hunters have come and gone in between the academies, and they've all been taught the same. But not anymore. We're going to change things now. We're going to change how we teach. We're going to change the caliber and the pedigree of those that we teach, and we're going to change the lessons that we pass on. So, Miss Knights, it's time for you to show me what you learned. Not only in the abyss, but in your heart, in your soul. He gives you a warm smile. That's the only warning that you get.
Yep,
You know what's coming.
I do. And with that, how close is he? Is he within reach?
Yep.
I'm gonna try and grab him. And with that, I think it's time to roll initiative.
It is indeed.
I am going to assume he expects me trying to grab him.
Of that I have no doubt.
So this will be, I'll turn all of my buffs on. There is literally no way he doesn't go first.
You would be surprised.
She has a -6 to initiative.
I was about to say, he rolls flat, but...
Then initiative, this will be with -6 for turning on her various buffs. Huh, only just. I don't think she adds anything to, Did she get anything from Paladin?
Oh, I hate being sick.
I don't think, I think it's from fighter that I'm thinking of. Their, like, athletes, their champion athlete skill has advantage on initiative rolls. There's the glory. Regardless, I'm about to get my ass kicked.
Where do they move it to?
The skills.
There it is.
And then I'm going to add in I'm not moving, so... Well, I guess it depends on what he does to me. I might need to move.
All right. So, as you ready yourself, having just enough time to kind of brace, knowing what's coming, the air around him seems to almost physically change as the intensity, the weight, almost the gravity around him intensifies heavily. As he grins, the almost heat haze about him seems to solidify and condense as he activates his semblance. We'll go into second gear, and it's time for some cross-examinations. Let us see the lessons that Miss Knights has learned.
18 hits.
Yep. Opening gambit is active, so he has +2 on these.
Yep. Ba-da-da-ba-ba.
We will immediately second level smite on top of that.
Yep.
It's time for some teaching moments as well.
Oh, shit.
She feels the impact before the gravity dust-infused gloves seem to flash briefly, and all of that raw force is converted into momentum. She feels herself starting to lift off of the ground and almost getting ready to start vacating the area, but just as fast, his arm snakes over and snags her by the wrist right as she starts to go flying, and he pivots her around, up over his head in one fluid movement and down into the ground, converting all of her lateral movement into straight down. Instead of taking 39, he will... She will take 78 as he slams her down into the ground, converting her direct lateral momentum into overhead momentum and back down into the ground. Literally, she started to go flying, he snagged her by the scruff, and then pivoted around and slammed her into the ground.
Well, that sucks.
With a hand still on her, he will spend 20 of his lay on hands.
Yep. She also procs bloodied but unbowed. That took her to under half of her maximum. So she gained temporary HP. I'm going to put that over there because it's in the way otherwise. Equal to your pugilist level plus your con, so that is plus 8. Ow.
Remember, Miss Knights, the opening move always sets the tempo and the pace for everything.
I'm going to use a reaction for counterpunch.
Go for it.
So this will be a grapple check. So for those who haven't seen it before, all characters have special skills that can be taught to others. Natalie has counterpunch, which I don't think I have written down on her character sheet. Pretty much whenever a character uses an ability or a spell or simply talks too much, she can make an attack of opportunity against that target. Being a pugilist, she can make a... Well, being any character, she can make an unarmed strike. In the new 2024 rules, an unarmed strike can be made into an unarmed attack, which is a punch. A shove attack, which is a strength save, or in this case, a grapple check, which is a contested strength athletics check. So I don't have my funny aura. Actually, I probably could have turned that on, but yeah. It's a bit retroactive, but I knew I was going to get into a fight. Can we just say that she's got on aura of paladin stuff? So she now has advantage from Peerless Athlete, meaning that this number could be really funny.
Yeah, I don't think he adds quite as high as her, but he also has advantage due to his pugilist subclass, so...
28. You rolled a nat 20. I can't beat that. But it's concerningly close considering I rolled an 11. That's one of my reactions gone.
You go to throw that punch. He brings the hand out and snags your fist in midair right as it's about to make contact with him. Good, good. Make use of your strengths and leverage them against your opponent whenever they give you the openings. He'll forfeit the rest of his turn. You're up.
Okay, so I'm gonna try again. I will. So I've got 2, and then I've got 2. Alright, cool. I'm gonna try to grab him again. Kind of. Even though he's got me held, I'm going to attempt to grapple him again. Can you beat a 32?
Don't think he can.
Holy shit!
God, he's definitely rolling like a headmaster.
I mean, like, that's really impressive. But it's as Theo, as skilled as an athlete as he is, as skilled as a pugilist, somebody who's survived the tough streets of Vacuo to thrive even and rise to the position that he is, the game is changing, as he said so much before. He grabs her wrist, and she uses that moment to spin inwards and slide behind him, twisting his arm behind as well into a chicken wing. She almost freezes, not really sure what to say. But she will dig deep using her bonus action. Meaning that she now applies extra damage. And also has resistance against all physical damage. She still has 3 attacks technically, because only one of the unarmed strikes counts. Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. And with that, she's gonna try and beat him up. Fisticuffs 1. That doesn't work.
As you're throwing solid punches, you go to swing and he tilts the head to one side, you whiff. He tilts the head to the other, you whiff again.
All of those miss. I've used my bonus action. But she's still got him grappled, which is honestly not a bad place to be.
It is not. And as he takes a second to kind of take that breath in, we will enter regen. You are technically still his ally, so you get to add his charisma modifier to your regeneration, which is 4.
So she gained... It's 3 times character level?
Yep.
So she gained 15 plus 4 plus 19. He also takes, due to being grappled, from the unarmed fighting style, which we buffed to kind of work with how she works, 1d6 damage. So roll 6. It takes 2 points of damage.
She tightens down, and unlike most who would be straining and struggling, he's calm, collected, relaxed. There's definitely a coiled strength ready to be unleashed, even in this state with an arm pinned behind him. He's not at a disadvantage here, unlike some would be. He presses his fingertips against her body from the hand that is kind of pinned behind his back. We are still in second gear. We're still in teaching moments.
19 hits.
He will convert that all to backwards momentum, sending you flying.
Can I make a reaction to try and hold on?
You certainly may.
So we'll make that. Again, the skill check, strength athletics at advantage. 20.
Nice.
Oh, whoa,
Despite the
that
jarring
actually-
pain,
Did that turn something off? There should be 24.
you're good. despite the jarring pain shooting up your arm as you mitigate the momentum that would have sent you flying, you still manage to hold on firm, and he laughs to himself as he uses his free arm to bring it up over his head, aiming for a blow straight to the schnoz.
"19 hits." Ow.
He'll let you take that to the face.
How much of that is...
12 is bludgeoning, the rest is radiant or force.
So that is 44, so 38 gets me to 20, but then +2 because of my hat, so minus 36 right now. Fucking
He leans
magic.
forward. He leans forward, and with a grunt, he's going to try and break his arm free.
23, doesn't he roll advantage? Or is it only
Yes he does. Yes he does. I'll just roll again. Yep, he has advantage against you for the next minute. Yeah, we'll take the 23.
31.
You are doing pretty. Probably one of the only people in the world, besides a handful of other arena champions that are on his level, that could stand toe-to-toe unbridled against the headmaster of Shade Academy when it comes to just raw, contested, athletic capability.
And that's always been her game. Where others have pure strength, her power comes from technique and control. Where so many others are just brute force, there are always other ways to play the game. Because she foregoed her movement, she has 2 attack actions. She's currently at 6 stacks of bypass. All of these are at advantage. Again, she's kind of, even as he kind of swings across, she'll readjust her grip to catch his arm after impact, pinning it in place, looking to expose the kidneys. She does not let go. So attack 1, 24.
Finally makes solid contact.
Attack 2, 25.
That is.
So this gives me to 8. I'll roll these damage. 13, 12. For her second action for foregoing, this will be 2 more fisticuffs. 23, 13, 9, that's annoying. 13, 9. And as a bonus action, she will forego her... She will expend a Moxie point to use the old one too, which is essentially Flurry of Blows from Monk. Pugilist is strength-based Monk. She goes whack fuck. So I'll do fisticuffs. 18.
He tenses up and you do smash into his aura, but it's like punching a brick wall. You feel the jostle shoot up your arm as it's mitigated.
Ow.
That will miss.
And one last one. 26.
That will hit.
And on this, okay then. On that last hit, something that I think Theo would have wanted to see. I'm going to put a blue there as well, as that becomes... What does Theo's aura look like? What color is it? How does it flow?
Theo's aura is red. It is a soft ruby red. It kind of glitters and shimmers. The higher the gear that he's in, the more intense the shine, the more dense it condenses itself around his body, almost like it's hardening or condensing under pressure. Right now, it's maybe about the consistency of of plywood. It is dense, but it's not so dense that it can't be pushed through, so to speak.
That color, that hue seems to bleed off him. She is online, she is attuned. The red that decorates her hand in the form of a bloodied hand wrap seems now seep further up her body. The normal blackish, almost nighttime brown, that color you see when you close your eyes, starts to shift and change. Perhaps this is what he wanted. And that will end her turn. Regen, baby! So how much? So he gains... an additional 5. Okay, yeah, Moon's in it, and it's having a stroke.
Hello? There we go.
Hello. We are in regen.
Yep.
Means I gain
Okay.
+5, baby!
Yeah, buddy.
So 15, and he's charisma modifier.
But I don't... Yep, which is 4. It's always his charisma. He has Aura Mender. Yep, and then go ahead and roll your d6 for your pin.
Roll 1d6. He just twists his wrist. It's still pinned up against her face and shoulder. Talking on Theo's own shoulder. Nat's height in comparison to a lot of other students gives her an unexpected leverage. Using the table to assist. It is somewhat uncomfortable, but for a man of Theodore's history, nothing new.
Nothing new indeed. As a matter of fact, he laughs to himself about the whole situation. I see that Sultan's lessons are still sticking well. Good.
Oh no.
The aura around him condenses heavily. It becomes like steel, grinding and gritting and almost causing sparks in the air as it grinds back against itself. She feels the pure, raw, unbridled, unfiltered power of his semblance online at full. And as he seems to tense up for a second, he breathes out an immediate relaxation as kind of the veins that were starting to stand out from the effort and the exertion give way as he immediately downshifts completely. In that same process, he's going to activate Bloodied but Unbowed.
Nice. For those who don't know, both Theodore and Natalie are gestalted pugilist paladins, meaning they have very similar kits in functionality. They even share the same subclass that is Oath of Valor, which is very much a inspire others through your own actions sort of subclass. Very fitting for a headmaster and very fitting for somebody that is trying to pretend like they know what they're doing.
Yep, and now he is online fully, as whenever he downshifts, she can feel all that energy that had been built up in him, that had been increasing his raw output, just suffice through his body. He seems to move more limber, more light, more energetically. They both will be forfeiting movement, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
So, Theo, you're going to unleash attacks. His body moves far faster than normal, even for what she expects. As she realizes that whenever he builds himself up like that and then willingly releases the energy, he's able to cycle it through his body, almost like giving himself a temporary boost of speed instead of raw power. The fists that come flying at her are blindingly fast. By forfeiting, by downshifting into neutral, he gains an additional number of attacks equal to the gear that he had been at. He was at 5th. So,
Oh, man.
Yep, we have, he is base 3 plus 5 plus bonus, means that we have 9 attacks coming at you. And then forfeited means an additional 9 after that. So, well, sorry, 7 after that.
Ow.
So, 16 attacks.
Right, I think you're probably gonna hit.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He does still have advantage against you for all of them for spending the Moxie at the start. God, I absolutely love Pugilist. It's fun.
It's a good class. I need a little bit. Yeah, 23 hits. That is halved. minus 2, so 8. Minus 2, 4. Minus 2 is 2, lol. 26 hits. 8. Yep, 8 minus. Okay, minus 2, yep. Misses. Hits.
Or
that is 6.
halves to 3.
1.
Yeah, so. Hold on, let me. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep, so that is hits.
6. No
9.
damage.
Yeah, no damage. That's really funny. The 9 is 8. So minus 2. Yep. Misses.
8.
Hits. Let me know when you're in the last one. So 6.
Yep. Then these are the bonus.
Miss.
9, 10.
Hits. No damage.
No damage. We're gonna smite that one.
I'm going to use my reaction. I'm going to mitigate as much. I'm going to try and no-sell that as much as possible.
Alright.
28.
That adds an additional... to be a total of 60.
Okay, so I'm going to reduce character level plus proficiency. 60 minus... Wait, we need to break this down. So, was that all? How much of that is bludgeoning?
17 of it is.
17 of that is bludgeoning. Halved is 8. So 8 bludgeoning.
Yep.
And then the rest is radiant. So how much of that is radiant damage?
43.
43, so that's 51 damage minus 2. That does aura shatter her. Yeah, that takes her to 0. Wait, no, it doesn't. I think I'm on like 2. So 43 from smite plus the 7 from, I think it's 6 from that is 49. She will no-sell and expend 5 stacks of blackout. Which takes her back to 10. She reduces 49 by 16. Oh, she just hits 0.
Well, it's fine. He has Inspiring Smite, so she'll gain 21 temporary.
Alright. Cool, I think that puts her at like 20. Puts her at 19. Because we'll go through the temporary first, because that's how you normally do it. She tries her best to hold on, certainly through that last decisive heavy blow. She grits her teeth, almost breaks, but he helps her out. The determination to hold on is...
For just a second, the fists have been coming in at such a blinding speed and ferocity that even though they weren't hitting as hard, they were just chipping her down piece by piece. And for a second, he almost seemed to be really getting into it, almost losing himself. But as she kind of teeters on that brink, the palm that comes in is flat as it makes contact with her shoulder, and she feels kind of the rejuvenating surge of his aura cycling over her. As he seems to catch himself, he clears his throat. That'll be enough, Miss Knights.
Huh? Let me try. Not yet.
If you're insistent,
She wants
he'll
to
forfeit the rest of his turn.
Yep. She will Regen. Where is the mechanics? I know we have a mechanic feature for expending. Because I need a little bit more aura to use Blackout. Do we have a...
How are you? Are you gonna mark an injury? Oh, buddy. Are you pushing yourself?
Oh yeah, I just want to like punch him.
Yeah, go for it.
But I need a little bit more aura to do that because I've only got 3, and I need like 5.
Well, he can. You know what? He can give you a little bit of juice. He'll dump 5 of his lay on hands pool into you.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got lay on hands. I forgot about that thing that I have.
Yep.
Bonus actions can be used kind of whenever he's got like a lot of extra stuff. So she will pretty much use most of that to activate Blackout. Blackout is her signature ability. It allows her to hurt people good and proper. She might also use her lay on hands as a bonus, giving her still the 2 primary. How many points can I give myself that? You spend 5 points of fear. You'll pretty much just pump all of them into herself, getting her up to
Yep.
plus 25. That takes that amount to 0. She will turn on Blackout, which could be funny. So all of these are still at advantage. These are going to be unarmed strikes still. 1, 16 misses, 17 misses, 17 misses, 23 hits.
Yep, that will hit.
Honestly, that all checks out. It's desperation, for lack of a better word. She's trying her best. And you know what? Since he did it to her, she'll do it to him. Drawing on that energy within. A weak shout of inbuilt fatigue just from the battering. She will add a smite into this as well. 2nd level, which she can do for free because she hasn't done it yet. And this will be... This damage will tickle. Do a con save against the damage taken. DC 14.
Yep. He adds +4 to this, being because he's a paladin.
Yep.
Does not roll with advantage, but we would have taken the first number, so 25.
He still takes this additional damage as necrotic. Yeah, they're all at advantage mark. His character's like fundamentally fucked.
Despite her absolute desperation, almost panic, he does kind of weave in between a few of the first blows, almost moving into this cycling side-to-side pivoting with his arms up in a boxing stance. She matches to counter him and catches him beautifully, and what she expects to meet is like the solid kind of barrier of his aura, but it gives on impact as the mixture of the attunement and the overall damage shatters. He's grinning ear to ear as his aura flickers before it fades, breaking apart. Well done.
In almost disbelief, she looks and lets go. The fight is over. He's aura shattered. Thanks for letting me continue. The red slowly starts to bleed away. Except for, like, blood.
As he smiles to her, kind of dusting her off and using the corners of his own nice shirt to kind of dabble away bits of the little pieces of blood, the little droplets that had spilled from her nose and her split lip. I remember how desperately I wanted to beat Sultan back in the day, and how amazing it felt whenever I managed to do it of my own volition, even if he did pulled back quite significantly against me at the time. What you watch is quite the impressive feat, even among those who have aura, as within seconds of him starting to talk, the shimmer returns back over his body as his aura reconstitutes itself, and within moments, it's back to its full, brilliant glow. As a hunter, his soul is verdant, it is rich and powerful, and she felt that. It was strong enough that it was affecting her just by being close to him. He regenerates rapidly, rebuilding himself back up from being shattered to full within maybe 20 seconds.
Holy shit. He lets out a dry chuckle. It's no secret, especially to the headmaster of the school, that she had been scouted previously by the head of Beacon. Despite her various shortcomings, including being a dropout. It put her off the thoughts of the school. However, it was Ebony coming to Theo and to herself to say that this would be a better fit. The headmaster was more open, more on her level of understanding, not to call him stupid, but more personable. This is probably the first time to truly see that in proper combat, with an element of restraint, but as a test. She lets out a deep sigh, almost of relief. Sultan did mention you. Not much, because he doesn't like to live in the past that much. I think he has an affinity for red things. She kind of raises her right hand, the bloodied hand wrap that has become almost a signature of her. Dyed with her own blood and sweat. What was once white is now deep crimson. Theodore's weapon of choice, the gauntlets. What did we end up calling them again?
The Ruby Gale.
Yeah, the Ruby Gale.
He smiles as he slowly takes off his own gloves, kind of flexing his fist a few times, rubbing at a couple of the knuckles. You can already see the bruises forming along the skin from the force of his own impacts, and meeting your aura in kind. Sultan and I go pretty far back, and yes, he's always been one to live in the moment. I'm honestly surprised he bothered mentioning me at all.
I think it's because I'm here, and you would probably mention it yourself. Otherwise, you'd have no point or need. So, did you get your answer? And how?
Indeed, I did.
To teach move. Okay, that's good. That's the main thing. You see, she tries to carry the poise and composure of her mother. She just can't. She just can't. That kind of babyface energy. To be as open and honest as she can, to almost a fault. But it is uniquely her. Change back.
As he smiles, she sees almost emptiness there, almost like he's reminiscing about the past, or maybe remembering something bittersweet. You and your team will be given an extra day each week. While the other students are focusing on additional classwork on Saturdays, I want the four of you focusing on physical work. Whether that be you doing your training with Sultan, or whatever else you choose to do, or if you use the extra day for missions. You're all capable, but I'd be a fool to not acknowledge that with that capability, there is also the worry of where your shortcomings lie. Shortcomings that all of you are very, very intimately aware of. Your success today isn't a product of your pedigree, of your blood, but of your own hard work, of forging yourself in steel and in iron and in blood. And as capable as you are, were I taking things seriously or taking you as an actual threat, you wouldn't have stood a chance. It's something I think you know.
Yep.
And if you all hadn't been lucky with a less aggressive Eben Grimm, then it is very likely that you would have had to retreat, or that you wouldn't have succeeded. I don't want you to dissuade yourself, to beat yourself up. You have made immense progress over the years, but I regret to inform you that every bit of progress you made till now is maybe a third of the progress you'll need to make by the time you graduate. You're going to need all the help you can get. All of you. Not only with each other, but from the teachers, from instructors, and from outside sources. Make friends, connections, people you can rely on and call upon to assist you grow, develop, and learn. And when you feel yourself ready again, my door is always open.
Thank you. I knew that stuff. I knew this isn't an easy job, but we don't sign up because it's easy. Might be for a bunch of different reasons, but we know it's not easy. The work never stops. So I'll make sure once the others recover that we get to work. Because that's all we can do.
I do want you... He gives a nod. I do want you all putting in the effort you need to develop, but I also want you all to enjoy yourselves. During my stints in Vale, whether it be during the Bible tournaments that they've hosted during my tenure, or the few times during things like the Vital Accords where those of us from abroad get together, or whenever they come in between the mountains of Mountain Glen and the pass there, coming towards Vacuo, I've had the opportunity to meet with several teachers. One in particular is fond of asking a question that I honestly thought was rather pointless at first, but once I started hearing the students answer, I started understanding. So I'll ask you the question in kind. Why do you want to be a huntress, Nat? What drives you?
She stops. If they were walking even towards the door, she stops. This is a question that she has asked herself before. Attending Oscuro in her youth, wanting to follow in the footsteps of her mother. Follow in the same footpath in stride with her best friend. But knowing that she was, at the time, never quite good enough. A lie that she made up to try and convince other people that she was fine was, well, a lie. The past stint with her friends in Team Enigma, of Ashen, of Chris, and Sucre, the things that they've seen, stuff unrecorded through recent history. It's a question with an impossible answer, because it can change depending on the day. She looks down at her hand, bruised, calloused, signs of blood. both hers and not hers, before she eventually looks back up to look him eye to eye. This is an answer that deserves eye contact.
Because I want to help people. That's why I'm here now. I was brought in to help. To help Chris, to help Ash, and to help Sucre. To try and help them live normal lives. To give them a second chance. And being here now, talking with you, fighting with you now, this is my second chance. And I don't believe that people, innocent people, should have the chance to live their life ripped away. I've seen the Nightshade Hollow. Those people were never given another chance. There are countless others like that. So I think that's my answer. To make sure that people have a chance to live their lives however they want to do it. But just to make sure that that chance isn't ripped away from them.
He rests his own equally, if not more so, calloused hand on her shoulder, giving her a warm smile. That is a fine answer indeed, Miss Knights. I think we all would like to see the world where our young, bright, brilliant, capable, and as he says that one, he looks dead at you, hunters not having to pick up the mantle after us. Being able to live a life of peace, of kindness, of warmth. A gentle and happy life. But we live in a world where that isn't always the case. There are those like you, like me, like your friends, your teachers, even your mother, who put their lives on the line every day. And whenever they plunge into the abyss, they put their souls on the table as well. It's a difficult life to walk. My job is not only to make sure you're equipped to do so, but to support you through it. But more than anything, my job is to try and make sure that you survive it. One of the most difficult things, no, the most difficult thing that I ever have to deal with as headmaster, as a hunter myself. Seeing a bright soul snuffed out before it has the chance to bloom. Leaving his hand on her shoulder, he gives it a firm squeeze. I want you and your friends to live lives. And I want to see you succeed, but I also, more than anything else, want to see you live. So if you ever feel like it's too much, if you ever feel like you're not enough and you need to step away or that you need help, I want you to reach out to somebody. Whether it be me, your mother, your friends, you're not alone. We walk a difficult life. A tough life. And those of us who are in leadership positions often have to shoulder heavy burdens. You're not alone. Don't forget that.
She nods and quietly wraps her arms around him for a moment and holds him tight.
Thank you.
He matches it. Go ahead.
Oh, she just
He
says
matches it
thank you.
in kind. He matches it in kind. the two holding each other close for a moment. For her, it is a bit of relief and a bit of warmth. For Theo, while there is warmth there is also the undertone of pain, of those that he can't hold on to anymore, of those that he's lost. As a headmaster, he has lost students. It's a difficult life. And the last thing he wants to see is any of them be brought low. He leads her to the door. He gives her a warm smile. Reaches into his pocket and pulls out a pocket watch, clicking it open. I do believe you're late for class. I'll send a note.
Yep. Thank you, sir. You see that she hastily wipes the starting formations of tears. Before quickly sprinting out the door. Just because that she's the professor's daughter does not mean that she's safe from punishment. Ebony's gonna kill her later. And she quickly runs down the stone walls and halls of Shade Academy. A dysfunctional at best school of outcasts and oddities, but under the guidance of the headmaster, perhaps no finer school in all of Remnant.
Said headmaster watches her leave, vanish from sight before he closes the door to his office and paces all the way back across his room, settling down in the chair with a heavy sigh, rubbing at his fist, at his knuckles, and almost laughing to himself, wondering what he would have been like if he was half as strong and as tough as she was at her age. Before he looks to a stack of papers sitting in front of him. They detail the information of every single huntress in the academy in training. All young girls from the ages of 20 to 24. Candidates. He was not entirely wrong whenever he said the hardest thing was losing those that he cares about, but this choice definitely had to be one of his hardest as well. Sitting on top of the stack is Natalie's own information. He picks it up and makes to toss it into the trash can, but he hesitates. He'd seen something in her. A strength that was rare. And it is with a pained look in his eye and a shaky hand that he slowly sets it back on the desk. He'd wanted to look for any excuse possible to spare her, to spare every last one of them, but he is both blessed and cursed with amazing, capable students. He sighs as he leans back in his chair and looks up at the ceiling. This is going to be an interesting year.
And I think, for now, and for today, that will do us. Yeah, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. I'll just change the background music quickly. So, I guess one thing that we can do now is half announce that we will be transitioning from purely Mistral days to include Vacuo as well.
Yep, Remnant days.
So the whole system will be overhauled to become, as Moon said, Remnant days. So characters like Natalie might not make large appearances. She is of a higher level to what the rest of the other characters that will be played will be. But there is no doubt that she will make appearances here and there because she's simply too funny. We might have maybe one more test before, or one more run of stuff before the new year. However, we will be having a break over the holiday period, just because it is the holiday period. But that, I think, will do us here. I suppose what we shall do while I still have you here, Moon, is... What was your favourite part from that? And anybody that's still in the chat and listening, what was your favourite part?
Honestly, being Theo was something I knew I was going to enjoy, but that little bit of connection there at the end, him getting to be me through him getting to be attached to the character, attached to Nat, because all of his students are precious to him, and having that moment where he gets to express that to them, usually he's the relaxed, happy-go-lucky, likes to throw hands with his students, headmaster, but deep down he loves his students. He cares for each and every one of them. Maybe a little helicoptery at times, but it comes with the territory, and getting to see a little bit of that bleed through there was just tasty.
Yeah, I really...
That, and honestly, Nat was very sturdy.
It's always been one of her strongest points, is that she's oddly punchable. But the 10 extra aura that I got from using Aid is always very handy. Plus her, the hat and general damage mitigation through classes. Pugilist is a very, very punchable class. That's kind of the point. No, I really enjoyed that as well. I like... to those who may or may not know, I'm very much somebody that prefers character work over just sheer combat. Being able to do both is always very important, but I really enjoyed that talk at the end as well. The more human side of stuff that we don't always see. But anyway, that will do it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you again for being part of this. Obviously, this doesn't happen unless you're here as well. Well, that will do it for us. Thank you all so much, and I will upload this to
Goodbye,
YouTube.
friends.
And yeah, we will be back next time. Thank you all so much for watching.
Bye. Woo.